Humans warned the Empire, "You've never faced us before." The Clytha Empire had ruled 1,000 systems for centuries. Their fleets were unmatched, their legions disciplined beyond comprehension, and their reputation across the stars was absolute. Planets that resisted faced firestorms, colonies that defied the Empire were erased, and entire species whispered the Clytha name in fear. And yet, somewhere in the backwater edges of the galaxy, humans lived quietly on Sol. They had warned the Empire. "You've never faced us before," was all they said. The Clytha laughed. They had no reason not to. The first warning. It started as a whisper on the trade routes. Reports of human ships engaging pirate fleets 10 times their size. Tales of colonies that had survived raids that would have vaporized entire planets. Traders and scouts described the humans as primitive, yes, but somehow terrifying. Admiral Zwrth of the Clytha High Command leaned over the tactical holo in the Imperial War Room. "Primitive species," he scoffed. "Rusty hulls, outdated weaponry. Nothing we cannot crush." His officers nodded, filing tactical reports and discussing fleet positions with the usual confidence. Yet, among them, a few younger captains shivered at the stories. "They survived the Orvax cluster," whispered one, "and took down 2 assault fleets with 10 ships." Zwrth barked a laugh. "Exaggeration. We will remind them what it means to challenge the Empire." The human fleet. Commander Elijah Kane observed the Clytha from the bridge of the Dauntless. He had scars from decades of survival, a veteran of wars most species couldn't comprehend. Around him, his crew moved with quiet precision, calm under pressure that would break most humans. "We're ready," Lieutenant Hara said. "They'll be here soon." Kane nodded. "They think we're small. That's their first mistake." The first skirmishes were tests. Clytha patrols met human frigates, expecting easy targets. Instead, they found ships vanishing into asteroid belts, ambushed by boarding teams that could penetrate even the most secure vessels. Explosions erupted in impossible directions. Human messages flickered across every comm channel the Empire monitored. "You've never faced us before." By the time the Clytha realized the humans were serious, they had already lost supply ships, scouts, and even one light cruiser. Guerrilla war. The humans did not fight like the Empire expected. They didn't rely on overwhelming firepower or formation tactics. They used their environment, asteroid belts, planetary rings, gravity anomalies, to their advantage. Their ships moved unpredictably. Boarding parties infiltrated enemy vessels through maintenance shafts, taking out officers before reinforcements could arrive. Clytha soldiers, bred for obedience, were unprepared for such unpredictability. When confronted by humans on planetary surfaces, the stories grew even more terrifying. Colonies like Trellith Prime were small, seemingly defenseless. Yet when the Empire's mechanized legions landed, they met ambushes so lethal and coordinated that entire battalions were obliterated before reaching their objectives. Humans fought with knives, rifles, improvised explosives, and, most terrifying of all, sheer, unrelenting courage. "They fight without fear," a Clytha commander admitted during a secure comm. "They don't retreat. Even the wounded, they fight." The Battle of Varick 5. The decisive engagement occurred on Varick 5, a mineral-rich planet the Empire had expected to claim without issue. Tens of thousands of Clytha troops landed, confident in their numbers and technology. Yet waiting for them were just 5,000 humans. The humans dug in, but not in conventional formations. Trenches were irregular, rigged with mines and traps. Buildings were converted into choke points. Streets were layered with improvised turrets. Every step the Clytha took brought them closer to slaughter. When the first wave of Clytha infantry advanced, snipers picked off officers, mines tore apart armored walkers, and human soldiers charged fearlessly into death. Injuries that would have incapacitated other species barely slowed them. Sergeant Kane, on a ridge overlooking the battlefield, grinned. "They think we're small. Let's remind them what happens when you underestimate humans." The Empire's soldiers faltered. Panic spread. Orders were ignored as the humans advanced relentlessly, their battle cries echoing across the ruined city. Kane's warning. "Remember," Kane said to his lieutenants, "we're not just fighting for victory. We're showing them what humanity really is." Lieutenant Hara's eyes widened as a Clytha walker fell to a magnetic mine, toppling into the rubble. "They're unstoppable." Kane nodded grimly. "Not unstoppable. Predictable enemies die. Unpredictable survivors rewrite history." By the end of the day, the Clytha forces were in retreat. Entire divisions wiped out. Commanders dead or captured. The humans had not just defended Varric 5, they had humiliated the Empire. The Empire's fear. The retreat of the Clytha forces spread shockwaves through the Imperial fleet. Whispers of human ferocity turned into outright terror. Stories of entire battalions destroyed by humans circulated across systems. No longer were humans considered primitive. They were predators. Legends. Admiral Zwrth convened a council. The holograms of human fleets appeared across the chamber. "They survive everything," Zwrth admitted. "Every assault. Every ambush. They strike with fury unmatched in the galaxy." A young officer spoke up, voice trembling. "We've never faced humans before. And now, we do." Zwrth's mandibles clicked in grim agreement. "Yes. And now we understand. They are not just soldiers. They are fury given flesh. And fury is something no empire can contain." The final confrontation. The Battle of Solara 9 became the defining moment. Kane led a combined human fleet, augmented with allied mercenaries. The Clytha brought their heaviest dreadnoughts, entire legions of elite warriors, and experimental siege engines. The humans struck first, luring the Clytha into an asteroid field. Magnetic mines and debris tore through ships, disabling engines. Boarding teams infiltrated the flagships, cutting command modules and scattering officers. Infantry fought through ruined cities, turning the rubble into traps. Every tactic the Clytha used failed. Every calculated strategy collapsed under human adaptability and raw courage. Their fury was not chaos, it was controlled, precise, and unstoppable. By the end of the battle, the Clytha fleet was decimated. Kane stood atop the flagship's bridge, blooded and battered, watching the enemy retreat. "You've never faced us before," he said quietly, more to the galaxy than to the remaining Clytha. Legacy. After Solara 9, the galaxy's perception of humanity changed forever. Colonies that had once surrendered without resistance began to fight. Militaries trained in human tactics. Even alien species, previously dismissive of humanity, approached with caution. Humans were no longer merely survivors, they were symbols of fury, resilience, and unpredictability. Their warnings had been ignored once. Never again. And across every council chamber, military briefing, and war room, one phrase echoed. "You've never faced us before." Not a threat, not a boast. A fact. The Clytha learned it the hard way. So did the rest of the galaxy. Humanity had arrived. And the stars would never forget their fury.